Okay, so Bitcoin hit $49,000. 11 ETFs were approved now in the past 24 hours. The SEC gave the green light. This is great. And so far it is playing out as predicted, with my theory being that we get these ETF approvals here in January, and that leads us to potentially a front-run scenario where this bull market peaks much sooner than people expect, potentially within the next 3 to 5 months. So somewhere between March and May. I'm personally looking more towards April. Now let me dive into my reasoning and share with you why I think that's the case. So this is an important update. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel on YouTube. Make sure you are following me on Instagram, my page. Leave a comment down below also. Let me know if you agree with my analysis or not. It's always nice to hear from you guys. And I do read all of these comments personally. Okay, so let's dive in here. Bitcoin is currently trading at $47,700. It already hit $49,000. So let me start first thing first. The SEC has given the green light to the Bitcoin ETFs. You can see this was just happened January 10th. And you can see over here, after a false start on Tuesday, and I'm not going to go into that, but basically the SEC Twitter account was hacked and the announcement was made from a hack, allegedly. Who knows what is even true. But anyway, after the false start, the SEC gave the approval Wednesday for investment companies to offer spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. As you can see here on the official sec.gov website, today the commission approved the listing and the trading of a number of spot Bitcoin exchange traded product shares. So basically what you need to take away from this is that now Bitcoin has gone mainstream. For the longest time, basically up to this point, the only way to be able to get Bitcoin was essentially through crypto exchanges like Coinbase, having to buy it, having to do self-custody, and so on and so forth. And this was just tedious for big investment companies for a number of reasons. Number one, security risk with the potential of getting hacked, losing private keys, insurance, all that kind of stuff. But number two, also the technical difficulties of dealing with it, exchange accounts, keeping it in cold storage, wallets, all that kind of stuff. It's just a massive headache. Also, the potential of it not being compliant and all that kind of thing. And obviously, as a big firm, you don't want to take that risk, right? Besides the security risk, also the compliancy risks, all sorts of future consequences. That is all gone now, because now we have official listings where people can now invest into this ETF and get exposure to the price of Bitcoin. So instead of actually holding the physical Bitcoin, they can buy the Bitcoin ETF and have that as an allocation as part of their portfolio. And now that means that all sorts of funds, hedge funds, pension funds, family offices, wealthy individuals, they can all buy these ETF type products and have that exposure, even if it's just 1%, right? 1% of their portfolios, but do that over billions, hundreds of billions, maybe trillions of dollars, and 1% becomes a lot. So in that sense, this is obviously really a big deal. But some people are saying this ETF is basically the beginning of the end. It completely changes the landscape. Whereas crypto and Bitcoin used to be for the people, so to speak, where it was basically retail. It was you and me, and everyone else had a level playing field. Now, obviously, the big boys have stepped in. The institutions are here, and Bitcoin has gone from being a peer-to-peer kind of thing to now being a financial global product, really. And the question is, where are we in this market cycle? Because for me personally, and I'm guessing for most of you who are watching this right now, what really matters is how do we profit from it? Most of us don't really care too much about the tech, about the fundamentals, about anything like that. We just want to make those sweet gains. And that means you need to follow the market cycles. You need to follow the liquidity flow. You need to know when this market is trending higher, and you need to know when that trend is finished and when the bull market peaks and when that reverses, so that you can get out, cash out those profits, and maybe even short it all the way down. By the way, if you do want to learn that, all of that I will teach and update in real time inside my VIP membership, inside Discord. I'm sharing my thoughts and ideas every single day. So if you want to join us, me and more than 2,000 members, the link is in the description down below. Come and give it a try. 60-day money back guarantee if you're not happy. That is where all the education, the updates, the trade ideas, and everything is happening. So come and join us inside VIP. So look, I want to show you here. I made this tweet over here the 21st of January, 2023. where I said reclaim Bitcoin at $26,000 and the Fibonacci golden pocket is a good target around 48,000. We have just hit $48,000. This was a spot-on prediction just about a year ago, and this was actually when Bitcoin was still trading just under $23,000. So I have been publicly bullish on Bitcoin based on the chart, on the real trend, a bullish trend. When that flipped bull in January of 2023, I've been sharing that since, and I've been sharing my expectations. And most people are saying bull market. Most people don't have that definition of what a bull market is. They think it means when everyone is talking about it, and it's all over TV, and your friends are talking about it. That is basically the end phase of what we call a bull market. What is important to understand is just the terms of bullish trends and bearish trends. We have been in a bullish trend since January of 2023. These larger time frame bullish trends tend to last 12 to 18 months. We are currently already 12 months in. That is why I'm saying there is going to be good confluence for a potential top around April in combination with some other factors. I just wanted to show you this so that you can see that I do make these accurate calls months in advance. There's many other examples going back years and years where I do share this publicly. Okay, so I did call this. This ended up being perfectly spot on. So that maybe gives me a little bit of credibility here towards the theory that I'm saying that potentially we might see a top in April if the market continues moving higher in the way that I'm about to explain. Obviously, the caveat here with this prediction is that I will remain flexible to how the market develops. So this is the idea, the scenario based on certain logic and data points. But if the charts show me otherwise, whether it's sooner or later, I will obviously adjust that and try and interpret the charts as best as possible. In the same way that I did this here, this is purely based on the charts, not an opinion. I made this prediction here based on the charts. In the same way, I will continue to make a prediction for a top or a reversal or a change of a scenario based on how the price develops over the coming weeks. Now you can see I explained my theory a little bit more here on the 10th of November, actually even months before that, but I don't know where I said that, somewhere in YouTube videos or other tweets. I don't go and dig it up right now. But basically my front run theory is in play, where everyone is expecting this 4-year cycle that we've been seeing so far with the Bitcoin halving that happens in April to continue playing out, meaning that everyone expects the Bitcoin halving to be the start of the bull market, and that bull market continues for another 6, 12, or 18 months after the halving. My theory here is with front running it is that basically we have been in a bull market since January already of last year. So we are a year in. That means we might only have about 6 months left, 3 to 6 months. And that would mean that it would completely catch most people off guard who are expecting this 4-year cycle to repeat by the time of the halving, when in fact it might end up being the complete top. Now, the good thing, of course, is that if I end up being right about April being the top, that means we go significantly higher in the coming weeks. In the next 3 to 4 months, we could potentially see Bitcoin at $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. Altcoins doing 5, 10, 20, 30x, maybe even more than that. Okay, that is the good part about if I'm right about this. The downside, of course, is if you are not yet exposed and I end up being right and this market goes all the way up without you and it peaks in April, you're not going to have a chance to profit from it. But now, we still have 3 to 4 months left. So let's see how this plays out. The good thing is also, don't be scared about this peaking in April, because there is going to be just as much money to be made on the way down as there is on the way up. It just requires a bit of a different approach. So on the way up, we can buy coins, we can do spot, there's no liquidation risk. We can buy altcoins, we can buy shit coins, memes, whatever the narrative is going to be, and we can make money on that on the way up. But on the way down, the only way to make money is to completely sell all of your crypto holdings, right? And this is not financial advice, this is my opinion, my experience. So I personally want to get out of all my positions as close to the top of the market as possible. And then I will be looking to short it on the way down, because all these coins that then end up going up 10, 20, 30x, 50x or more, they all tend to go down 90, 95, maybe even 99%. So by shorting these coins on the way down, you can also make money. And of course, that requires some technical knowledge. But again, I teach all of that inside my VIP. I'm going to be sharing those trades in real time on the way down. So be sure to join us. The link is in the description down below if you do want that part. But for now, this is kind of what I'm basing my theory around. So that brings me to the next chart I want to show you, which is the market cycle chart, basically the phases of a different market cycle. And based on this, I would guess we are now at the media attention phase, moving on to enthusiasm. With all this news about the ETF approvals, it is everywhere on financial TV. It is starting to really get attention. So everyone is talking about Bitcoin, ETFs. Now this is the next big thing. It's going to hundreds of thousands of dollars, etc., etc. Okay, so in terms of where we are here, I would say we are in the media attention moving towards enthusiasm. I can start to see it. The sentiment is changing. People are getting excited. We're almost at $50,000. ETFs are approved and people are just excited. The halving is around the corner. So this last phase of the bull market, going from enthusiasm to new paradigm, that can happen quickly. And if this market just continues higher, then it is very possible that this happens within 3 to 4 months. I will show you on the chart. If you look back at previous cycles, what happened in the past 3 months of any bull cycle, that was the biggest upside that there was. So that is when it really kicks in. Now, the only caveat is that right now we are currently very much overbought. Everyone is very greedy. As you can see, the fear and greed index is at extreme greed. Okay, usually it does not stay at these levels very long because this is when everyone is super FOMOing into stuff. They're buying, they're longing with leverage. They're just buying the top because of this ETF and it's going up. And this means that we could be due for that short-term correction. I did make a video or two about this in the past few weeks. I do think at some point, and maybe sooner rather than later, we will see a 20 or 30% correction within this market to flush out all this greed. This is going to be a good thing, especially if you are prepared for it, because it will give you probably the best entry that we are still going to get for the remainder of this bull cycle. So just as a warning, be a little bit careful. We could see that 20-30% flush at any point, just to get rid of this greed, reset the indicators. But like we saw in January of 2021, this can happen very quickly, usually within 2 to 3 weeks. It drops, flushes everyone out, and then continues back up. If my theory about the front running is correct, then that is what we are going to end up seeing. So with all of that out the way, let's finally get back to the chart, and you can see we are seeing a bit of a pullback already. That is perfectly fine. You can see over here, this has been the target for the longest period of time. Basically, once we crossed bullish in January of 2023, like I said, this ended up being the target. That's these levels over here, the Fibonacci golden pocket. Just technically, even if this was like a 15-minute chart or an hourly chart, that would still be how the price action would be likely to play out. So now is the question, what happens here? Do we get a bit of a flush and a pullback and then continue higher? That is completely a possibility. I doubt it just continues going straight up to the all-time high from here. That would be a little bit too easy in my opinion. Too many people are getting away with taking leverage longs right at the top. I don't think that continues. It's probably a possibility, but I would say it's unlikely. So it would be nice to get some sort of quick flush, maybe here around the 40,000, 35 to 40,000. Bitcoin can drop to there quickly, then recover and continue higher. And you can see if we take this bars pattern, if we take what happened in 2020 or project this forward, if this is following the same price action, you can see we would get that peak by about March or April between $70,000 or $90,000. So this could very well play out. Another thing that's also coming into the decision making, the confluence for this potential scenario, is the talk about the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. I've made videos about this in the past. I'm not going to go into detail. Basically, when the Fed cuts rates for the first time after a long hike cycle, it happened in 2001, it happened in 2008, it caused major global financial crashes. We are potentially setting up for that same scenario, both in the stock market and in crypto, in my opinion. So if the Fed cuts rates, and this could be as soon as March, but it might only be in the May meeting, we have yet to see. But if that happens, there is good data points that might actually be the top, and a crash might end up coming. So all of these factors coming together, as I've explained it, give me a reasonable thesis, if you want to call it that, about why this market could end up topping in April, especially the higher that these prices go, right? So we're here on January 11th today. Over the next few weeks, as we get into February or March, as this continues to stay on track, if prices get to the all-time high by March or April, in my opinion, the scenario becomes more and more likely. So, like I said, I will remain flexible about this. You know, if things end up changing here on the chart, I will adjust my opinion based on the charts, okay? Because it's not about what I want the price to do. Obviously, I'd like it to continue going to $1 million, but I'm not just blindly going to continue holding if the chart is signaling a potential reversal where the price might end up going all the way back down again in the year that follows. So this is my update for now. If you did enjoy this, make sure to follow me here on Instagram, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and if you're not yet in VIP and you want my ongoing updates, I try and pack stuff into these videos here on YouTube that I make publicly, but there is just so much more information that I want to share with you, and I do that inside my VIP. So I write a monthly newsletter. This month's newsletter was 47 pages with analysis and altcoin updates and all that kind of stuff. I do a monthly video update, and I'm literally inside our Discord group every day sharing updates on the Bitcoin chart, the Ethereum chart, altcoin charts, answering questions. So come and join us inside VIP. There is no risk, 60-day money-back guarantee. You can click the link in the description down below and come and join us. That is the best place to be. For now, make sure that your risk is always managed. Of course, we can expect a 20 to 30% correction at some point in this bull cycle. If it comes, and my opinion is it could come sooner than later due to the overall greed in the markets right now, that will probably give us our best entry for the remainder of this bull cycle. Let me know what you think, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.